What's up, guys? You're watching Cam Gaylor, and today we're taking a look at one of the biggest flops Smith & Wesson has ever made. It is the Smith & Wesson Sigma Series SW380. This is just going to be like an overview video. I'm going to go over the history, some of the specs, and some of the things about this gun. So it looks like it came in a plastic case at the time. Before we really get into the gun, I want to talk about the history. So the Sigma Series was made to compete with Glock, and it was introduced in 1994. That's the year I was born. So the Sigma series came out the year I was born, and then the SW380, their 380 concealed carry version, came out in 1995. So I would have been 1 year old when this thing was introduced, and it had a very short lifespan. From what I can read, it looks like it was discontinued either sometime in late 1996 or sometime during 1997. So at the most, it had about a 2-year life cycle, which is trash. That's terrible. So this thing obviously didn't sell that well, and I think there's a lot of reasons why. This thing is a bit of a turd, to be honest with you. So what comes in the box? It looks like it came with the owner's manual, some literature type stuff. You've got your I'm drawing a blank. The thing that goes in the chamber flag. You have this thing. This is important. And then you have 2 magazines and the gun itself. So let's take a look at the magazine first, because it is a goofy design. So there's no traditional magazine release. You literally pinch the gun here and you pull the magazine out with these 2 tabs, and you can break these easily. And then why in the world would you have a punch? This is for the takedown, because the takedown is very weird. So let's talk about the gun real quick. There's a lot of reasons why this thing was a failure. So one, the magazine release is super goofy. You have to pinch, pull out. You've got a low capacity. I think it's what, 6 rounds of 380, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my computer real quick. Yeah, 6 plus 1. So you got 6 rounds. And it is sleek. It is very smooth and sleek. No real sights, just kind of a gutter sights. So the top part, the slide, it's not traditional steel. I'm going to go ahead and point it at the camera. It's unloaded, I promise. It's not steel. It's ZMAC, like a zinc alloy, which is extremely cheap to produce. And some people say that this gun only has a service life of about 2,500 rounds. Smith & Wesson said, no, that's not true. I don't know who to believe. I don't know. I don't ever plan on shooting 2,500 rounds. I'm going to shoot this thing sparingly. To me, it's just a cool thing to have in my collection. So ZMAC slide, which is, it's very reminiscent of High Point, because I think that's what High Points are made out of. And even like the old Jennings and Jimenez pistols, I think they use ZMAC. Has interesting slide serrations. They're just kind of like, I don't know, they're in there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird, very blank up front. Let's look at the gun real well. So polymer bottom, the classic 2-piece Smith & Wesson trigger, kind of a side ejection. There's somebody calling me. Let me see. No. It's kind of a side ejection, 380 auto. Real minimal gutter sights. Let's flip it around. No magazine release. Like I said, it's going to be down here. A little bit of texturing on the front and the back of the grip. I will say, I think the grip angle feels really nice. The gun feels nice in the hand as far as like ergonomic wise, but it is just basic as it gets. Now let's get into, which it says Smith & Wesson, Springfield, Mass, made in the USA. Let's get into the takedown. So to take it down, you need this, and you literally need to hammer out the roll pin, which is insane. That's like unheard of in modern times to actually have to need a pin punch. I think the only company I can think of that's currently making guns that you need a punch to take apart is the High Point. So you got to punch out the back pin, and then the slide just kind of lifts off. Has a fixed barrel, very different design. It's blowback, so it's just like a blowback, very simple thing. It's very High Point-esque. Double action, only trigger sort of feel. It's striker fired. Barrel length, you're getting 3-inch barrel overall length, right around 6 inches. Height, you're looking at 4.5 inches from the bottom to the top. Width, about 1.2 inches, so not too wide. I mean, it's a small gun. You could pocket carry it, no problem. I think a decent amount of police officers used it as like a backup gun while they're out there doing their things. People can still carry this gun. Obviously, it didn't sell that well. 14 ounces unloaded, which is pretty lightweight. That's a pretty lightweight handgun. The sights are obviously the fixed, basically not even there. Magazine capacity, 6 rounds, 1 in the chamber, so you can have 7 rounds of 380. Slide ZMAC, I've already gone over, I'm reading a spec sheet right now. Trigger pull, about 10 to 12 pound trigger, but they never actually officially did it. I'm going to dry fire it. It is a very heavy trigger, at least 10 pounds. It's a 10 to 12 pound double action only trigger, which could be nice if you're pocket carrying it. It's going to feel more like a double action revolver pull than what we're used to, you know, with a like a striker fired pistol. Safety features, basically it has the 2-piece trigger safety. There's no other safeties there other than having a pretty heavy trigger. Some of the problems this gun had was the clips on the magazines breaking off, and apparently the gun would break roughly at about, what did I say, 2,500, 2,300 rounds, something like that. That's what I read online. And that's pretty much everything I know about it. I haven't shot it much. I've put about 25 rounds through mine. I'm not going to shoot it all that often. I'm glad I have it. It's awesome to have in my collection. But, you know, it is kind of a blast from the past. It definitely looks like something from the 90s. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this is an interesting gun for you guys to check out. You know, it might be kind of rare. I don't think they made that many of these. But I got this thing dirt cheap. Mine was very rusted, and I was able to clean the rust off and get it back into working condition. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.